just says Hershey's number 4. So I don't know.
The little
that could be like
bar.
but they have several different ones. And then Kit Kat. Now I will give you to make Alex feel better because he had a couple of real duds in his answers. And
did I say milk duds?
Here's the top 10, and your Almond Joy, your Smarties, and your Milk Duds are not even in the top 10. Here's your top 10, everybody. Of course, you got your M&M's, your Reese's, your Snickers, your candy corn. It says is number 6. Starburst number 7. Jolly Ranchers number 8. Twix number 9. Kit Kat, well, we already said that. Butterfinger number 10, and then number 10 is Nerds. Coming in at number 10.
Only
Nerds.
like 2 of those are good.
The little box of Nerds. I've always enjoyed.
I stick by Almond Joy. Would you rather get an Almond Joy or Nerds in your bag?
You want to know? While we're at it, you want to know what the most unhealthy candy is? Mr. Good Bar. Remember that? Or like it had peanuts in it, like whole peanuts. Yeah,
Why that's the most unhealthy?
Yeah, it's got the most calories. It's got 250 calories, 17 grams of fat, and 23 grams of sugar. I never even heard of this next one. The number 2. Nutrageous.
Nutrageous? I don't even know
I don't even know what Nutrageous is.
I don't think they make those in like a handoutable size. I think they're just like full candy bar, I believe.
You know why? Because you'd be Nutrageous if you made them in a thank you very much, if you made them in a small size. So Nutrageous. Snickers is...
I am nutraged by this.
Snickers is bad. Baby Ruth is... Yeah. Mounds is bad. Mounds is bad. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Who gives it? Yeah, of course they're bad. We all know they're bad.
Not as bad as that red M&M, though.
No, the red M&M actually caused cancer. Red dye number 3, I believe, is what caused cancer.
When I was a kid, the cancer scare was a carrageenan in the Go-Gurt. My parents were like, we can't have Go-Gurt anymore because there's carrageenan in it.
Oh, really?
Every ice cream everywhere has carrageenan in it.
Yeah, see, when I was growing up, we didn't have... Yogurt was not a thing kids ate, and we certainly didn't need to take it to go. Like, you fucking kids had like, we love yogurt so much, we need to take it out of the house.
I want to eat yogurt, but I also want to skateboard.
Yeah, like I need to run down the street. Like spoons. I got no time for fucking spoons. I got to use my hands for other things, like like being a judge. Barbie. I need my hands for my gavel.
How am I
because I'm going to tell these gals you got to work, girls. Get out there with my... So I can't be using spoons for my yogurt. I need Go-Gurt with cancer and... And then you just squeeze it out of a tube right into your mouth.
Squeeze that cancer into your mouth.
And they're still around. I still see Go-Gurts around.
I think for nostalgia's sake, I'm going to go buy a box on the way home.
You want to hear the top Halloween costumes of the year?
Yeah, this year?
Well, yeah, it says 2019 but this is from HalloweenCostumes.com. Okay, Creepy Clown. That's real big right now because you got the Joker, number 1 at the box office.
Yeah,
you got
Joker.
It, also number 1 at the box office, or in the top 10. A lot of Creepy Clowns. Adult Presidential Piggyback. Oh, it's Donald Trump. Like, you know how you could do those piggyback costumes where so Donald Trump is on the bottom and you're on
Putin's
Donald Trump's back.
Oh, okay.
You're the person sitting out of Donald Trump's back. That goes for $49.99.
With a Putin mask, that'd be pretty good.
Let's see. That has 8 reviews. The adult. So someone has gone online and reviewed the adult piggyback costume, and we will now read. Let's read some of the reviews. Somebody said, "You know what? This costume's good. It's not, but I'm gonna have to review it." And okay, this guy gave it 2 stars. 2 stars. He said the head is too heavy and falls forward, so it's hard to see his face.
Well, good thing you let us know.
Not a bad review. If I bought that, I would be upset that you couldn't see Donald Trump's face if I was trying to be a Donald Trump doll.
Do you remember the costumes that people like that blow up air? Like those big sumo wrestler costumes that are like...
Yeah. This is a adult professional... See, a lot of time, I don't think you can say Donald Trump's name in these, so you have to say presidential...
POTUS.
Yeah, thing. So that it's an adult presidential piggyback, 100% polyester fabric. Costume works like a pair of pants with attached shoe covers. Costume has drawstrings. Characters... head is made from soft molded vinyl. I think the same thing with Donald Trump. His head is also made of soft molded vinyl. Extra legs are meant to be stuffed to look realistic. Oh, yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got it.
They have to write that. There's a theme song. The theme song blares, you know the tune, Hail to the Chief, so it plays music.
For $50, not bad.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. This is some review. Now, you want to hear some other ones?
What's that? Yeah, what else we got?
Adult Nacho Libre costume.
Really?
Oasis. These are just, they're like Oogie Boogie. Voodoo Magic, Egyptian Goddess, Deluxe Catwoman. Oh, Catwoman only gets 3 stars. Let's read a Catwoman review of this costume. Let's see what these people had to say about. Not exactly as pictured. Poor quality fabric. The gloves aren't long enough to connect to the short-sleeved unitard, and the material is not very thick at all. This lady gave it 4 stars. I just wanted to warn anyone wanting to buy it that it seems like this costume isn't put together to withstand a lot of play. What the fuck?
What are you playing in it?
Probably fucking around with it like her husband or something. Isn't that what kids are supposed to do in their costumes? Oh, not in their sexy Catwoman costume.
Yeah.
This is like for adults, you fucking idiot. Anyway, well, so go out, everybody. Have fun. Halloween, you know. I mean, we'll probably talk more about it on the coming podcast, but
what are you going to be this year?
You know, last year, my neighborhood is insane for Halloween. Like, we have thousands of kids come to the door. I couldn't believe it when last year we had to go back to the Rite Aid to get more candy like 4 different times. It's just insane. Like the streets, it looks like Mardi Gras. The streets are so filled with kids.
Is this in the valley or is this up in?
Yeah, it's in the valley. Yeah, so it's kind of fun to like watch. You see the kids coming and going. So last year I had my friend Jen Kirkman came over, and my wife and Jen Kirkman and I sat on the front porch and we threw candy to the kids. So it was a lot of fun. We had a real good time. So actually, we're kind of looking forward to it again. Kirkman is coming, and I think we're going to go as, we don't really leave the house, but we're going to go as 3 men and a baby. We're going to do the Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and Ted Danson, I believe, were the 3 originals. I don't know how we're going to pull that off, but that was an idea we had. That could change in time.
I think Kirkman can make a good Selleck.
Kirkman could make a good Selleck or a Gutenberg. I think she wanted to be Gutenberg. She had specific needs, I think. But anyway, we'll kowtow to her needs. So that's what we do. It's fun. We enjoy Halloween. And we try to have Sarah Colonna come over with her husband, but they live not far from us, down the street, in a little bit of a fancier neighborhood. And John Ryan, her husband, you played for the NFL, he prides himself on handing out full-size candy bars. So he's like, I got to stay in this neighborhood with fewer kids. I can't come to your, because people know me around town as the full-size candy bar guy. So there's that. So we like to have people over. It's fun to give candy out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think this year I was thinking I might be I'm going to be a Judge Barbie. A lawyer.
You know what? That's a great idea, because they're out there. You should be Judge Judy, because she put a little doily on her outfit, and that changed.
Well, I was Judge Judy last year, so I'm going to do that again. Need it. Yeah, I don't need 2 years in a row.
So anyway, these are all there's a lot of. It seems like I'm looking as I'm talking to you guys. I'm scrolling through other costumes, and it seems like clown, like sick clown, is the way to go this year. Pennywise, yeah.
Pennywise,
is number 1 currently being sold. Pennywise. Well, that's the clown from It. And then, of course, this will be a year, like every year, some Hollywood celebrity will either blackface or be an Indian princess or something, something
wear a headdress.
Yeah, wear a headdress or some sort of hijab, and then they'll have to apologize. And to see, it'll be like a third-tier celebrity, too, and it'll be like, oh, just go on with your life. Nobody
like,
cares.
Who are you?
Yeah, like Tori Spelling dressed as an Indian chief. Like, we're all going to live, I think. It's going to be fine, So, but the one thing we learned, here's one takeaway. Let's think about the takeaways from today's podcast. We realized nutrageous. If you see I don't think I've ever seen a nutrageous, but that might be. Sometimes candies are they're like territorial.
Yeah.
They have them in some parts of the country and not in others.
Not in every market.
Yeah, not in every market. Like I know, like Charleston Chew is a big one. We didn't really have Charleston Chew up in the East Coast where I'm from, but then like Boston baked beans, those gross things that they had, like they were like candy covered peanuts,
like maroon peanuts.
Yeah, they're like maroon peanuts. They were, I guess, out of Boston. I'm assuming because they're called Boston baked beans. And then I think that this nutrageous is probably specific to a certain region here in America.
Like Florida.
I'm not. So they're very unhealthy. So, and this goes back to the bird that's now been taken off the endangered list, a warbler, who was a very a finicky eater, and because the warbler was a finicky eater, it put itself into extinction. It was it was extinct from any endangerment. That's the word I was looking for very many years. So it was endangered because it wouldn't eat. So don't eat the nutrageous, but eat more than the warbler.
Yeah,
So, and I think that's. What better way to wrap it up than that,
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming to the shows in Chicago. I had an absolute blast in Chicago. Every show was fantastic. My apologies to all the people of Muskegon, Michigan. I had to cancel the bowling alley show because I had to come back and do Lights Out with David Spade because I love that show. And when David Spade calls, I go. And they called, and I did the show yesterday, and it's so much fun and so... It's just the way TV's supposed to be, man. It's like some of my Chelsea Lately guys are over there, Brad Wallach and Tom. You remember Brad. If you all know Brad from Chelsea Lately, well, now Brad's he's a Hollywood mogul, and he runs the David Spade show.
Nice.
So I was able to go over there. We had a lot of fun.
Is that live or is it?
Yeah, we do it like Chelsea Lately. We tape it at 3:00 and it airs that night.
Okay.
So not a lot of turnaround. But I did it with Rob Corddry. I don't really know Rob, but he was great to work with. Really cool guy. And then of course Candace Thompson, who has a podcast here on this network. So I did it with Candace, who has been a friend of mine for a long time. And then Dave, Spade, who I don't really know David, but I've done the show now 3 times, and it's been great. It's so much fun. If you guys are looking for like comedians being comedians and just talking about like pop culture stuff, kind of like we do on this podcast. And I know everyone's like, thank God they don't do any political stuff, and they don't. So you have that going for you. You're not going to hear about impeachments over there or piggyback presidential Halloween costumes or any shit like that. So.
Nice.
There's that. So it's fun. Anyway, watch that. I'm on it. I was on it last night. You could probably find it on the Comedy Central app and all the places where you watch Comedy Central. It originally airs on 11:30 on Comedy Central right after The Daily Show, if that's how you watch television. I will next be in Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha. Now, Chicago came out. Springfield, Missouri came out. Now it's your turn, Omaha, because now it's starting to work the way I wanted it to work. This podcast is starting to get people to come to the shows, and I meet them after. I hang out with them after. We have a great time. We chat. Everybody, you can ask anybody who comes to the shows. It's an absolute blast. Now, people will put things on the Facebook page about this woman screamed this out. Don't put that on there because it makes things sound like they get out of control. They're not out of control. I know my shows get a little crazy because I encourage it. Like, I blame myself for that. But they're being I got it. You saw what happened. A woman with one arm stands up in Chicago. She has one arm. And she says, make fun of me. And now I'm like, oh. And the whole crowd's watching. And I'm like, well, shit. I can, but it's going to be insensitive. But you asked for it, bitch. So I went at her. And, she took it. She was a one-armed gal from Indiana, I think, or some white trash place.
What better place to find a one-armed gal?
Yeah, and she had one arm, and it was, I don't know, didn't want to ask her how she lost her arm because it was probably a terrible story, but I
would have went straight for that.
Yeah, we roasted the one-armed lady pretty bad, and but that's what you get when you come to one of my shows. So come, if you have 2 arms, you're accepted. You have 1 arm, you're accepted. If you have no arms, you're accepted. But, that's the way it is. So I'll be at the Funny Bone in Omaha, Nebraska. That's the next stop in a couple of weeks. Let me get the exact dates on that. Hold on. Here I'm October 24th, 25th, and 26th. Omaha, Nebraska. I've been to Funny Bone many times. I love it. I love doing their morning radio show with the 2 guys there. I always have a blast. So Omaha, please come out. I haven't heard a lot from you Omaha people. I've heard like 2 people go, we're coming, but there's got to be more than that. So, because Funny Bones, they have like 12 of them, and I like to play them all. And if I have a good turnout, then I get to play them all. Okay, let's get into some songs. Are we at that point?
Yeah.
All right. We looked up a thing that's called, what is it called again, Alex?
It's called anxiety pop.
This is what it's all the rage now for young kids. Anxiety pop. They think there's too much anxiety in the world. I actually saw something on Today's Show about anxiety this morning. There's a lot of mental health issues in the world, and here in America we have a lot of mental health issues, and anxiety being a real popular one, as popular as Kit Kats are for trick or treaters. Anxiety is very popular among the kids. So these kids apparently are having a lot of anxiety because of whatever the world's ending, or that little Thurberg girl